What up YouTube, it's Luca and welcome back to my Java single player world. Once again, we are here today to celebrate the finale to a 3-part series. If you haven't seen it already, a few months ago, I think it was around December of last year, I made a video, the first video, on this world where I showed off how I had torn down an ancient city and built my own castle in its place where I now live. And after I finished that project, I made it my personal goal to build a similar castle in every dimension. So I've already made videos showcasing the one I mentioned before in the ancient city. And then a few months ago, I think it was around March maybe. It could have been April also. But anyway, I showed off the castle that I made in the end. I built it on top of one of the end islands and basically just colonized an entire island in the end to make my castle. And now we're here today for the finale. Well, not really, but I'll explain that probably later. But we're here for the finale, the Nether Castle. And I must say, I'm pretty proud of this one. I think aesthetically, this may be the most impressive castle. But you'll see soon enough. So yeah, if you enjoy the video, if you like it, then make sure to show that support if you want. I'll leave a link to the other two videos, probably in an iCard above right now. And yeah, now that it's over with, let's move on to the castle itself. Okay, so here we are. You know, we came down from the nether roof and now we're in the actual proper nether. So, you know, I'm perched up on a ledge. The castle is just behind me. And, you know, I've picked a spot where you'll really be able to enjoy the scope. I did bring some potions of night vision, just because, you know, the lighting in some places is not that great. And, you know, I put a lot of detail into some aspects that you wouldn't be able to see if you couldn't, you know, see in the dark. That's one aspect that I did kind of struggle with. So yeah, are you ready for it? 3, 2, 1. Here it is. So as you can see, it consists of a couple of layers and all the beacon effects have kicked in. Yeah, we'll get to that in due time, but like I was saying, as you can see, it's a build-up of multiple layers. This castle is definitely the most vertical of all of them. You know, the end castle and the ancient castle are pretty flat. You know, they're big in like the area that they cover, but you know, they're not really very imposing. This is something else though. Let's go over the outside before we move inside. So let's start at the bottom where we have these 8 towers around. So you have one on each corner and then one in the middle. So yeah, these towers were the first thing that I designed. So the towers came first and then the rest of the castle just kind of followed that design. I'll see if I can maybe pick a better spot, maybe down there. It's better to look at them in detail. Yeah, so here they are, the towers. I really like its design. It looks like some kind of like evil eye, that pattern that we have going on here. You know, there's nothing really behind there. The towers themselves are hollow. Behind the main wall is something. You know, as I said, it's built up of different levels, different floors. But yeah, as you can see, I kind of used a pattern of nether bricks and red nether bricks. You know, we're in the nether, so that feels fitting. And I kind of just stuck with that throughout the entire build. And you know, especially in the walls, you can probably notice I've used a lot of like multi-layeredness and curves and like double walls. So yeah, I think that's something that is really beautiful about this castle. We've got some soul fire burning on top of them. That was actually a pretty last minute addition. I didn't really know what I wanted on top of them. I knew I wanted like some kind of platform, but eventually I settled on just making it burn with soul fire. And behind the towers you have like the main wall, and I actually struggled quite a bit coming up with a pattern for these walls because I believe the amount of blocks between the edge of this tower and the inner edge of this tower is kind of strange. You know, it's not really even or uneven. I don't know. It was something that didn't really allow me to continue the same pattern that we had on the towers, or just a similar pattern. So yeah, in the end I ended up going with these like crosses and then magma blocks behind them. And I think it turned out pretty well. It doesn't really fit with the rest of the outside wall, but you know what? I think it's fine. You know, this is the part that is closest to the lava. So, you know, having some magma blocks in there, it's like a characteristic block of the Nether. So, you know, it's fitting in a way. And then the first and second floor are kind of similar. You'll see on the inside as well when we take a look at that. The second floor over there is basically just a tinier version of the first floor. You know, I didn't really want to spice up the design too much when I knew I had something that worked, and I just love that pigman that is you know, putting on a show for us. But yeah, I think that's all for the outside. So let's actually take a look inside. So yeah, this may lag the game a bit. So here we are on the outer walkway of the first floor, and here you can also see, you know, kind of the multi-layeredness in the walls that I talked about earlier. This one is actually special. This one's the back wall, and hello. Please don't disturb me. But yeah, like I was saying, this pattern is actually kind of special because this is the back wall of the building. You know, where I had to change something because on the inside of this wall there's something really special. But yeah, the other three walls don't look like this one. The other three walls look like this. You know, still somewhat similar. Only the back wall doesn't have any entrances because, you know, the entrances would be blocked by the throne that we have over here. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. As I said before, here we have the platforms of all of the different towers. They don't really have any like ledges, so I can just jump off here and fly away anytime I need to. So yeah, let's go inside. We've already talked about the outside plenty. Oh yeah, here's the flag. You know, if you've watched the End Castle video, you'll know that I made a flag for each castle. You've already seen the ancient castle one at the beginning at the Nether portal where I started the video. So yeah, that's the banner for the ancient castle. The banner for the End Castle you've already seen in that video. And this is the banner design that I came up with for the Nether Castle. This is like little upside down triangle. Originally that was going to be white, but I changed it to blue after, you know, putting the soul fire on all of the towers. I thought, you know, that would be better, given that, you know, there's also a lot of soul lanterns around here. And I really like this interaction where, you know, the blue upside down triangle almost makes it look like the skull still has like eyes and somewhat of a mouth. I think that's a really cool effect. But yeah, the inside. So this is the first floor. There's admittedly not that much going on here, and my night vision's about to run out, so give me a moment. So yeah, like I said, the first floor. There's not really that much to do on this floor. All of the, you know, practical stuff is mostly on the second floor and then downstairs. So yeah, here we only have the throne. So, you know, I incorporated my usual design of just a quartz throne with like a mural behind it. And, you know, since we're in the Nether, we gotta use Nether appropriate blocks. So I chose with magma blocks with like an accent of red Nether brick. And it was actually kind of difficult to design this throne because all of the other throne, like the design that I've used for all my previous castles, that design relied on an uneven amount of blocks, but this castle is actually in length and width, it's all even. So, you know, I didn't really account for that. So yeah, I had to redesign the throne a bit, but I really like it. Of course, it's got a minecart here, so I can actually, you know, sit in it. And we have this opening with streaming lava behind me. I like it. And then on the sides here we have these guys. You know, some of you, if you've watched the 1.20 video that I did on this world, you may remember me getting this armor set all readied up in preparation of the build of this castle. So yeah, we have these guys on the back. I moved them with pistons. I moved them as far back as possible and as far into the throne as possible. So yeah, I think they look really cool. And by the way, this netherite armor, it's enchanted. It's called Fire Protection Maximum. And yeah, then they've just called Wither Skulls. I thought that looks better than just normal netherite helmets. And as I'm sure you've been able to notice, they all have the rib armor trim. So yeah, like I said, there's a lot of detail in this building, mainly on the inside. And yeah, we have here some torch flowers. I was originally going to put wither roses here, but then 1.20 came out and I thought these looked better. So yeah, we have these little indentations with the torch flower. I think they add a little more life to this place. And we also have this nice pillar design. I found, this was like over a year ago or something, I found a really cool pillar design on Reddit, and I wanted to make use of it in this build. But the original design also had, another spiral going the other way. But I only ended up, using one spiral, not the double spiral, because I thought it looked better. And yeah, I think these pillars look really sick. So let's go up to the second floor, where there's a little bit more to do. The second floor is basically like a little workspace, little work area, and there's a lot more functional stuff in here. So yeah, looking at the design of the walls, like I said before, the second floor is basically just a tinier version of the first floor. The design of the walls and stuff is very similar. And hello. Oh, alright, I guess he's going away. He probably heard me talking to the audience. So yeah, we have two like little corners over here. Here we have the potion brewing corner, where we can brew stuff. As you can see, I've got some potions of fire resistance over here. I'm actually going to take one. You can never be too sure in the nether. And then, on either side of it, we have some chests for the different ingredients. And over here we have just a chest for the potions in general. We also have some nether wart growing. This is actually like a double ceiling. Yeah, what I'm trying to say with that is that there's one layer, which is the ceiling of the first floor. And then there's another layer, which is the floor of this floor. That sounds weird. So yeah, we can basically have soul sand integrated into the floor without messing up the ceiling of the first floor. And yeah, we have some cauldrons with water. I forgot to mention those to fill up potion bottles if we need it. And over here we kind of have like a smithing area. As you can see, I have a chest with, necessities for making netherite stuff. And we have a chest for wither skulls, which I currently have none because I expended them all. And over here we just have some chests for some more potion ingredients that I couldn't fit in that corner. And then yeah, on the outside we have kind of a smaller walkway. This one's 3 blocks wide, and on the first floor it's 4 blocks wide. So now let's go downstairs, and downstairs is what I think is probably the most beautifully designed room in the entire castle, if I do say so myself. I think I really outdid myself with the design of this room. It looks sick. So we're on the other side of the wall of magma blocks that we also saw on the outside. This is the other side, and I've used blackstone to kind of create this pixel art of a piglin face, and I think it turned out really well. And there in the middle we have a lava stream going down, and we also have lava in the floor covered up with glass. I know I have night vision right now, but this is probably also the most well-lit room in the entire castle. The floors up here, they're all kind of dim, even with the soul lanterns lighting them up. So yeah, let's take care of a few of these guys before we go over this. So yeah, like I said, pixel art of a piglin face that looks not very happy. And in the corner we have some enchanted golden armor sets. These, which don't really serve any purpose, they're just for decoration mainly. And they are enchanted, but they're just level 1 enchants. It's mostly just for the aesthetic. And yeah, over here we have 8 piglins. They've been name tagged, and they basically serve as our bartering farm. That's basically just what this floor is. So you can put some golden ingots up in this barrel, and it will stream down into the hopper. And then to start the system, all you have to do is flick this lever off, wait a few seconds, and then flick it on, and then the dropper will dispense a gold bar. He'll pick it up and look at it, and then he'll give us something. It will go in the hopper and into the chest, and then once the hopper is empty, another signal is sent up to the dropper, which then deposits another gold bar, and it'll keep going until the gold bars are empty. or the gold bars are gone. And then, the system will basically reset itself. So we have 8 of these guys over here. And, we can use these to get some pretty good loot. And my night vision is about to disappear. So as you can see, even without the night vision, this floor is still pretty well lit. And just for people who are curious, this is what the first floor looks like without night vision. Not really dark by any means, but you can't really see the details up top as well as without the night vision. But we can actually go even further down. As you can see, we're cutting straight through the lava sea on all sides. I think this looks pretty cool. But yeah, all the way down here, we have the basement, the absolute lowest level of the castle. And this is at Y level 14. So this is the perfect altitude to go mining for netherite. So, thought that may be a good idea to, incorporate a netherite mine shaft with the castle. So that's why we have this stairway going all the way down to the level where netherite, or ancient debris, should I say, is most common. And the funny thing is, I actually ran into an already existing ancient debris mine shaft that I had already made earlier. So yeah, that's going to also be interesting. Yeah, and this shaft goes even further down, all the way to bedrock, as you can see. And here we have 4 beacons powered by gold, which give me stat boosts around the castle. So I have 1 level of speed to accompany 1 level of regeneration. And for the rest we have resistance 2, haste 2 and strength 2. So yeah, I'm basically untouchable in my own castle. Because, as you've been able to see, every once in a while a piglin will spawn, or a few of them, and attack me. And sometimes magma cubes spawn also. And once in a blue moon, even a guest in the lower levels. So yeah, I gotta be able to deal with that, which is why I chose these powers with these 4 beacons down all the way at the bottom of the nether. So that's basically all the main floors of the castle. But if you've been paying attention, you may have noticed that on the 2nd floor, the staircase is still going up into the roof. So you might be wondering where this leads. Well, I'll show you, and bear with me because it's quite a long way up. And here we are. So this is basically an entranceway to the castle, all the way from the nether roof down to the base level. I think that's quite cool, because like this staircase goes all the way from this level, from Y128 down to basically the bottom of the nether, to Y14. So this is a staircase of more than 100 blocks. Yeah, you don't want to fall down there without any like elytra or spider webs or something. Trust me, I've pushed many zombie pigmen down and they were never heard from again. So yeah, like I said, this is a little outpost that I built up on this roof to basically allow me to get into the castle from this level, because this is where all my main portals are. The portal to my ancient castle base. I've put this nether soil highway, I guess. So because I have soul speed. So yeah, it's only 200 blocks that way before you get to the portal to my base, the ancient castle. So yeah, I thought that was a little too short to make it an ice road. So I just made it into a soil road. And yeah, this is the bedrock level. So some of you may wonder how I was able to make this gigantic hole in the bedrock layer. And the answer is, with a lot of ingenuity, skill, and about 5 stacks of TNT. It wasn't really that fun. Yeah, and beyond that, we just have a few little things here. We have a respawn anchor, so that way if I die in the nether, I respawn here. I thought it'd be better to place it here at the top, so that way, when I die, I have the option to either go back down to the castle, or, back to my base, which is only about 200 blocks that way, depending on what the situation calls for. And we also have some non-enchanted golden armor sets on either side of the entrance, just in case that I'm tired of the piglins messing with me and I just want them to ignore me, then I can just put a golden item piece on before I actually go down into the castle. Most of the time I'm probably not going to do that. Most of the time I'm probably just going to fight them, because, you know, with the strength 2 and my sharpness 5 netherite sword, I can actually just one-shot them with a normal sword swipe. And I can actually also one-shot zombie pigmen, but I need a critical hit on them. And so, yeah, guys, that's all there is to the Nether Castle. I've shown you everything, and, you know, we've come at the end of the dimensional castles. I came up with the name on the spot, but it sounds kind of cool. Yeah, I've shown you everything that there is to see, but, and this is what I wanted to talk about earlier, this is not the end of the castle building series. I have plans to build one more castle, and that's going to be an underwater castle. You know, I have a guardian farm that I've been somewhat working on in the back for like a few months, and by, you know, somewhat working on it, I mean placing a few stacks of sand every few weeks and then getting bored. But yeah, once I have that finished, I'll have a steady source of prismarine, and I want to use that to build one last castle underwater, and I think I know a good place for it. And after that, I don't know, I don't have any future plans after that to build more castles. But if you guys are excited for these types of videos, and I could do more, I could probably build like a Badlands castle or a desert castle, something like that. That seems like an interesting idea. But yeah, guys, thank you for staying with me throughout the entire video. I hope you've enjoyed this build and maybe even learned something yourself. That would be the best. Yeah, like I said in the beginning, if you enjoyed this video and want to show that support, then be sure to leave a comment, like or subscribe if you want. And I'm gonna see you all in a good mood in the next video. I'm going to go now. Goodbye everyone.